Hello everyone. So I've just been asked by my guides if I would sit down and make another video and just talk about a couple of the themes that I've seen being really present, especially as we've just entered a huge eclipse gateway. And the first thing that I've been working on is I did a really powerful piece of work on Saturday, which was the day of the eclipse, the Saturday just gone, with my beautiful friend Lorraine Flaherty. And we were looking at the extremes of the polarities playing out here right now. And many of us are experiencing these extreme polarities, almost like the pulling apart of our reality in our daily waking lives. And there are people experiencing this on a mental level. There are people experiencing this on an emotional level. There are people experiencing this on a physical level. And it's almost like these extremes of light and dark. Obviously, we're seeing it play out on the news. And one of the things that we were working to do for ourselves and really as a healing for the all, for whoever it was needed for, was the bringing together of these polarities. Something I've been teaching for a very, very long time, especially in my Precious Wisdom and Archangel Alchemy healing systems, is the importance of holding our center and of integrating duality. You know, it's not about being all love and light and, you know, chasing the light, or about getting stuck in our shadow and in the darkness, in the heavy stuff. It's about bringing those two together, effectively crossing the streams, as they would say in Ghostbusters. And it was interesting because I did another practice of this the week before myself. And really, you know, that old adage of whatever's going on outside of us is also very present within us. I'm really aware of some of the astrology going on right now, and I'm not an astrologer, I don't know loads about it, but I do know that we have this nodal thing going on between Aries and Libra and Capricorn and Cancer. And it's really interesting to me because I'm a Libra sun with Aries Rising, and I was working on a really kind of a particular personal issue that I was having. I can't even remember the ins and outs of it, but what I was shown as I tuned in were these two streams of energy. And one stream was all light going off to the left, kind of like a stream of energy in one direction, which was white light, and the other one was a stream of energy in the other direction, which looked like a black stream of energy. And it was dark and light. It was a polarity. And one of these streams was, and I saw this as I zoomed out, I saw this as part of the Aries program, was the black stream, and part of, not that Aries is a black thing, but it's very Mars energy. And the program was all about, you know, getting what you want no matter what the cost, or winning no matter what the cost. It was just about, you know, really going for what you want and not even thinking about the consequences, which, of course, we can see that plays out in humanity. Sometimes we all do that when we're feeling really ambitious or something. But the other part, which I also resonated with, was this: to hold peace no matter what the cost, to err on the side of justice and integrity no matter what the cost. And I was looking at these two streams of energy and I thought, what am I being shown here? And as I zoomed out, I was thinking, this is like Aries and Libra at play. I'm being shown something about this axis. And then I saw it in humanity, and it was almost like this division in our society of one part of society operating from selfishness, from greed, from I must get what I want no matter what the cost. And then the other half of society kind of going, well, I want peace. I want peace, and I, you know, like the part of us that feels like we have to fight for peace or fight for justice. But again, there was this wording, no matter what the cost. And I thought, what is that program? What is this program of no matter what the cost? And as I tuned in, I could feel it sitting in my solar plexus, and it was like an implanted program. It wasn't mine. It was something that was very much playing out in the collective. And this no matter what the cost thing. And I thought, show me higher self, show me what that looks like. Show me what that looks like in me and how that's impacting. And I literally got the image of a boardroom of like old grey-haired men sitting around in this boardroom. Obviously, it's not all men, but it's kind of an analogy for patriarchy, I think. All raking in the money. It was like they were moving chips around on this board table, moving the pieces around. And almost using humanity like a little chessboard, playing us off all against each other and making loads of money from it. And, you know, if we zoom out and we look at war and we look at conflict, we can see how that absolutely is happening. I'm not going to go into sort of like detailed information or nitty-gritty or my opinion of what's going on any level on the planet. I'm not going down rabbit holes, but I'm very much looking at this as a metaphor or a model of what can go on not only on an individual personal level, and where we're being pulled this way and that in terms of our desires, our ambitions, what we want, what we hope for, what we're living for, but also how that's playing out on a collective level. And this integration of these two streams. And what I did was I brought this stream of win at any cost and the stream of peace at any cost, pulled out the program, brought those two streams together. So effectively, Ghostbusters do cross the streams. And as I brought them together, it felt very, very powerful. And then I saw one stream of energy, like this beautiful sort of all turned gold and pearlescent, and anchored it into the earth. And as it anchored into the earth, the words flashed up, peace wins, and love wins. And it became this gorgeous tree, this beautiful golden tree of life energy. So we need to, the message here is it's really vitally important that we come back into our center, that we center and we ground. Now, centering and grounding does not mean spiritual bypassing. It doesn't mean you know, not standing up for yourself if there's some injustice going on in your life. It doesn't mean just being the doormat, lying down and taking it. But it means being more aware of who you are, of your truth, of where you sit, and maybe sitting back and looking at every situation and really scrutinizing it and looking at where maybe you might be being manipulated, whether that's in your daily life, or whether you're being influenced by something outside of you, or perhaps even childhood or other lifetime programming. Are you seeing the situation clearly? Are you detached? Are you sitting back? Are you looking at it from a place of unconditional love and non-judgment and coming into observer? Because from that place, when we detach from the drama, when we detach from the pain and the emotion of a situation, and we let ourselves observe from that place, that is usually when the highest truth arises. If we can really look objectively, if we're in the situation, it's really hard to see it objectively. If we zoom out on it and almost look at it as though we're looking at it from above, or we detach from it from an emotional standpoint, then we're less likely to be influenced, manipulated, and kind of pulled around like puppet strings, and we're able to see much more clearly. What we've got going on here at the moment, and I've just, I made some notes this afternoon. The guides want me to, I think, guide a process of activating our inner compass and really aligning to our own truth from that place of unconditional love. But what they're saying is that we're really reaching a crux point in this timeline split that's going on at the moment, where you've got two people just experiencing very, very, very different timelines and truths. And it could be that they're both really good people and they just can't agree on what happened in a scenario. One is living one reality, one is living a totally different reality. And it's okay to honor and acknowledge that, you know, there's two people living these different truths. And it doesn't necessarily mean that any one person is wrong. It just means that you're living different truths. And when we come at it from unconditional love, we can let go of control, let go of the need to force another person to live from our truth or to see things from our truth, and just let them be who they are and live according to their timeline. If their timeline and their truth is not resonating with you, you reserve the right to cut your ties and move on if you need to. And that's as simple as it is. So from that non-judgment place, you can be like, this does not resonate, I'm not on that timeline. The other thing we've got coming up are really, really deep old wounds that are coming up to be revealed and healed. And some of these things might be things you thought you cleared, they might be things you thought you healed, and it's coming up on a deeper level in order to resolve anything that you haven't resolved. Is going to be showing itself in this eclipse corridor. We've got a really beautiful, almost like a reality check. Real relationships, true friendships are going to deepen, Any wounds in those relationships will heal, and the relationships will step up to a much higher timeline. They will be solidified, they will be anchored in. You will know that this is a true relationship, friendship, companionship that you're meant to be in. Deep old wounds kind of coming up to heal. Anything unresolved, anything kind of hanging over you or lurking in the background will be looked at, will come up and be looked at. And when somebody is really operating from a place of unconditional love and non-judgment, they will be able to hold you in your perspective. And if two people can come together and hold each other in that loving perspective and just allow the other to voice how they feel and who they are, deep wounds will really be able to be healed here, not just on an individual level, but on a humanitarian level as well. At the same token, any false relationships, pretend friends, you might see people marching out of your life or being moved out of your life really quickly. If there's been anyone who has been using you, draining your energy, manipulating you or taking advantage of you, be aware that your higher self, it's almost like your soul is just going to spit them out. They will show their hand, okay? This is what I'm being shown. They're going to show their true hand. And of course, this is about honoring and acknowledging your own truth and being able to trust your own truth. It's the end of gaslighting here, and it's the end of gaslighting ourselves. So if you call someone out on their misbehavior, or if there's any abuses or situations where you have not been honored, and you call someone out on it, and you know it's a truth, you can feel it in your body, your feelings are valid, and that person denies actually having, you know, done what you know they've done, and tries to gaslight you or tell you, oh, this is all in your imagination, you will know it in your body if it is a truth or not. Trust yourself implicitly, trust your feelings on this one, especially if you sit back from it, observe it from that unconditionally loving perspective, and allow yourself to tune in from that level. So from that non-emotional level, and that doesn't mean that you're coming at it from a non-human level, but it's pulling your emotions out of it. It's asking to see as clearly as you can in that objective place. And you will know, your inner knowing will know. So don't be afraid to call people out on their behavior towards you if you feel like you're being taken advantage of or abused. And a true friend will hold you in your wounds and love you nonetheless and allow you to voice your opinion. And I've seen beautiful experiences happening between friends and lovers recently through clients and personal friendships at the moment, where really, really deep old wounds have surfaced within these friendships, and they're not necessarily started within the friendship. So it might be because you're being held in such a level of unconditional love that it's actually a safe playing field for these wounds to come out and sometimes to play out between you. But true friends and true lovers will hold each other through that and will do their best to help heal the situation and take ownership of their part in it. And don't be afraid to take ownership of your part in something too. If you can meet in the middle, if you can meet in the center, really, really deep healing can occur here. The next part of the message that the guides are talking about is really taking off the rose-colored glasses. As a humanity, we are a pretty naive species. I mean, we're very innocent, we're very pure, we're very beautiful, and we have been manipulated for a very, very long time. And it's really time for those rose-colored glasses to come off. Anywhere we haven't wanted to see the ugliness of the world, or anywhere we haven't wanted to see the truth of a situation, anywhere we've been focusing too much on the light, chasing the light, I used to be guilty of this, you know, it can actually trip you up. We need to have an awareness of the darkness. The further we go into the light, the further the shadow is cast. We need to make sure that we're holding the balance. And that doesn't mean that you want to go cuddle up to the darkness, but it means be aware of your own darkness too and love yourself in it. Forgive yourself for anything you think you could have thought, said, or done. So we're also seeing in this splitting of timelines, you might be aware of people that are perhaps not working on a level of consciousness where they do have self-awareness. there you might start seeing through the veils. So you might start seeing through lies. You'll start seeing through certain narratives where people are creating a narrative that fits what they want to be the truth rather than what is actually a truth. Be aware of that. Those of you who are working at a certain level of consciousness, who have the ability to zoom out and to see and to really have self-inquiry and really know thyself, you will start seeing this as the glamour wears off. So, of course, we see a lot of this coming through news and media. We see a lot of manipulation. But where people or even governments and things are using, you know, like creating a narrative that fits the reality they want you to see, and even offering evidence without looking at the other side of the evidence. So there's a lot of that going on the planet today. And you might even, we're doing self-inquiry here, so you might even ask yourself, where am I creating a narrative to fit what I want to be true in order to be right? Okay, so the self-inquiry bit, the self, really looking at yourself as to, you know, are you creating a reality around you? Because we're all co-creators. That is maybe based in, is it based in fear? Is there a part of you that wants to really hammer home that you've been a victim or something like that? It's really the time to question ourselves, come into that integrity. Am I seeing this correctly? Am I seeing this from all sides? And what really is the truth here? When you sit back in that neutral space, the truth almost will be revealed to you. It's like it will arise within you and you will absolutely know. Also, trust your first instincts, trust your instincts, because our instincts, they engage often before thought engages. Your gut instinct, your body instinct, your body reaction, if you can really hone that, then even before you have a thought, even before you question what's going on, your gut instinct will tell you what is going on, if something is right and aligned with you, or if it is not aligned, and if it is not in alignment with your truth, or if it is not right, or if it is not resonating with you. So trust that gut instinct, no matter what anyone says. Someone might completely deny everything that you're feeling, but if you get really clear on what your gut instinct is, and really trust your own intuition and your own inner guidance, and trust that inner compass, then you can't be lied to. And this is one of the reasons why I teach channeling, and I teach this stuff, because once you can read your body consciousness, once you can align your mind, body, soul, spirit to your highest truth, you cannot be lied to. And even if people deny their actions, you will absolutely know who is for you and who is not for you, and that way you can make a decision accordingly. It's also the time for speaking our truth, and really speaking our truth up front. So if anyone is treating you in a way that is unjust or unfair, or, you know, taking advantage of you, this old people pleaser walking on eggshells program is something that is really having to go from the population. Because if we can speak our truth with love up front to begin with, then it leaves no room for wounds to fester and for old wounds to come back and slap us in the face further down the track. So, you know, and just trust that somebody who really wants to still be in your life will meet you where you need to be met. And speaking our truth and, you know, trusting ourselves and trusting that we'll be honored is really important in that. What I'm seeing as well on a global scale is much more of the people wanting to be heard, much more of the individual wanting to be heard. Individuals' rights are really important. And we're going to see a lot more of people coming together with common causes, people speaking out against things that are not resonating as a whole. And we're going to have a lot of the blinkers coming off. There's a lot more revelations and truths to be revealed as yet. Some of you who are light workers and healers will be dreaming some of this stuff. Some of you will be getting bleed through in the dream state. Some of you might be starting to see some not very pleasant things and not very pleasant timelines, because it's playing out on the astral plane, and it's before it gets revealed on the physical plane, it's playing out on the astral. So a lot of us will be seeing it in the dream state. So don't be alarmed. Again, just ground and center, hand it over to the divine, and just ask to clear and reveal whatever needs clearing and revealing. Because, yeah, we're definitely in the the revelations at this time. So I just want to, speaking of our inner compass, they really asked me to, I guess, come into a little bit of a process around this. I'm just going to see what guides and angels and beings are around in order to tune in and take you through this activation for those of you who would like to do it. And it really is about aligning to your own divine will and authority, your own inner higher self, your highest truth, and really getting you clear on what that is. We're being hit by energies, we're hit every day, not just by news and media. It's one thing to switch off the news, but there's a heck of a lot coming through frequency, through 5G, there's information. As we raise our consciousness, we're tuning into frequency much more. And we're actually able to read the energy of a person or a place telepathically through the feeling body, through this frequency. And for some of us, it's becoming really strong. Like, I know I can stand in the energy of certain people and just feel this beautiful love vibration and a beautiful harmony. It's almost like these two people, their souls are singing together and no words are needed. And there are other times where I might be standing in the energy of someone, they might say something to me, but I can feel with every fiber of my being that what they're saying is not true. So if something's a resonance, if something has a vibrational match to you, you'll know if it feels good and right. If something isn't resonating, you may not know why it's not resonating. It might be an invitation for you to go away and work on that. It might be that there's something being shown to you in your own subconscious that needs healing, or it might just be, you know, that's not resonating with you and you need to move away from that situation, that storyline, or that relationship. And take all the time you need to figure it out. You know, your gut instinct might be instant, or you might need a little bit of time to figure out what is right for you, especially when it comes to relationships, and especially long-term relationships. I always get double numbers, and it's 1919 on my clock as I record this, so amazing. So I'm just going to drop in and see what guidance is coming through. A very, very powerful angel, a cherubim, has been with me ever since I hit record on the video, and he's one of the angels I've actually written about in my book. His name is Kerubiel, and Kerubiel is gifting us each with a huge gold compass. It's like a, you know, the north, south, east, west compass, really old gold, like a ship's compass. And he's placing this in our heart, and at the moment it seems to be kind of spinning in different directions, like it's honing in on what the best direction is for us. You know how a compass kind of spins until it finds its kind of resting place, and what it's looking for here is effectively your own due north, your highest will and authority, your highest truth, balancing all of your energy centers. And it's almost like this compass takes up your whole energy field, so it kind of sits right around and through the auric field. And as it starts to center and balance itself, I just want you to feel, sense, or imagine that all of your bodies are coming into harmony and balance, calming and centering your emotional body, and really neutralizing any foreign emotions, any stuck, trapped emotions, just settling the emotions, almost like, you know, a choppy sea becoming calm, still water. Just feeling that coming into calm. Calming the mental body, calming the mind. Allow the mind to settle. And just breathing in and breathing out, breathing away all worries, all cares, all thoughts. Just let your mind become still. It's sometimes easier said than done. We are barraged with information daily, but we just want to give the mind permission to relax, still, and center. Give your physical body permission to relax. If you could sink your weight into the chair, really feel the body just ground, really bring your awareness to your feet, your legs. Really be aware of Mother Earth and the magnetism and the gravity of Mother Earth anchoring you here. Become really acutely aware of what is immediately in front of you. You might want to open your eyes and just look around, just really center in on the now, like what is here now. I am safe now. I am calm now. There is, you know, everything, all my needs are met. Give the body permission to feel safe, to feel centered, and to feel held. And we're going to allow as well the spiritual body permission to relax. And those of us that are healers, we do a heck of a lot of journeying through the spiritual body and timelines, and we're looking at all these other realities and all these other dimensions, but we mustn't get lost in them. So we really want to remember our human selves. We really want to give our spirituality a rest. You know, sometimes we need to just go watch a comedy or cook a nice meal or dance or sing or do something human. And this is permission to just let your human self come out and play. You know, I know doing this work, doing this work is my passion as well. But some days I really just need a day off to just get creative, do something that really makes you happy. So letting the spiritual body relax. And then we're going to let this just really amplify out into our subtle bodies, really going out into all the bodies, all the dimensions, all of the cosmos. And if you could imagine that every single timeline, reality, dimension, world, star system, every layer, everything in the earth, the animals, the plants, the crystals, the solar system, the galaxy, the sun, the moon, the stars, all the elements on the earth, including all the systems. Like if you could imagine everything was harmonizing to your highest signature divine blueprint. Imagine that it's all harmonizing to you now. And that includes the financial system, the educational system, the medical system, the pharmaceutical system, like all the systems, right? All the systems here, the whole, let's call it the system, the whole system. If you could imagine that all those systems were actually harmonizing to you, to your highest timeline, your highest blueprint, your highest frequency, so that instead of hindering you, they became helpful to you. So imagine if the news and media was actually helping you. And on some level it is. Some level it's helping us to awaken. And just imagine that all realms, all realities were on your side. Were on your side. And that everything has both a good and a bad side to it. Everything has, there are two sides to every coin, as we would say. So not all news and media is bad, So, really coming from that balanced perspective, just give yourself permission to see the clearest truth, to see things from all sides until you settle on what really is the best course of action for you to take in any given scenario. So we're just going to imagine that the whole world, the whole universe, all paradigms are absolutely harmonizing to us. And I just get this image of many roads opening, so the way opening up for you. So as you stop fighting against what you don't want and you start trusting in what you do want, flipping your perspective from where you're stuck, where there's no movement, where you're struggling, to really turning in a new direction and allowing what is for you to come to you, trusting your soul to lead you, letting go of the urge to fight, the urge to flee, the urge to freeze, the urge to fawn, and all of those beautiful survival tactics. Give yourself permission to be still. To be still now. Those of us who've had childhood trauma or grew up in homes where perhaps there wasn't very much peace or calm might get a little bit nervous about stillness. You might tell yourself that you feel bored or anxious. But if you can reclaim your stillness and let yourself harmonize to your environment, then your environment might become exciting. There might be things around you in your home that actually might reveal themselves to you. Perhaps if you're someone who likes to be out a lot, maybe actually being home for a little while might be good. Maybe you're going to get creative, and maybe you want to learn how to cook or paint or embroider or something that takes your mind off all of the stress and the noise in the world and the energy in the world, and puts your mind on something that you can focus on. I'm Australian, so spring cleaning tends to happen for me around October, November. So this is quite the time that, might be good to do a bit of spring cleaning. Or something creative. Sign up for a course. The other day I did a kintsugi, Japanese pottery course, which I love the metaphor from, where we took ceramic dishes and then we mended them with gold, and all the cracks are filled in with gold. And I actually had a beautiful obsidian scrying mirror that broke when my husband was cleaning, and I took that, and now my scrying mirror has a beautiful gold line through the middle of it, and it's even more beautiful now. And it reminds me of the broken parts of us, the parts of us that we think are broken often aren't. They're blessed are the cracked, they let in the light. This is, as Leonard Cohen said, and many others. So honor the parts of you that you feel are wounded, and we're just going to allow, as we center, we're going to allow this beautiful golden liquid light to now come in to anywhere we feel broken, to any schisms in the mind, in the heart, in the soul, to anywhere we feel like we've been pulled into, to any separation wounds within us. And you're going to see the polarities within you, whether that's male, female, good, bad, up, down, light, dark, right or wrong. Really feel the two sides of you. Feel the dark side and the light side of you. Feel the angel and the devil. Feel the good and the bad of you. And we're going to come into total loving acceptance. And as part of the work that I did on Saturday with Lorraine, I had this beautiful vision. One part of this vision was like a huge angel, and one wing was white, one wing was black, and it was like bringing heaven and hell together. And one thing I saw was the gates dissolving, and the angel said, there are no gates to heaven and there are no gates to hell. It's all accessible, and if you want, you can fold them together so that it just is. It isn't good or bad, it just is. And from that neutral perspective, we can love ourselves, forgive ourselves, and this is how we heal the world. Okay, we don't have to go out necessarily rescuing. It's beautiful work to help others. But when you feel helpless, if you're seeing darkness in the world, find that darkness within yourself and heal it. Bring light to it. Bring light to it. All your pain, all your shame, bring light to it. And fold heaven and hell together. It's like the yin and the yang coming together. But I saw this angel, and here's what, I'm just being shown again, this huge angel. And one wing, as it's folded across the heart, says malevolence. The other wing says benevolence. But right across the center, it says reverence, reverence. And it's about having an awareness of both and coming into balance. And, not necessarily having to choose one way or the other when we sit in our center. It's like in my previous video where I talked about the red pill and the blue pill. What if you don't want either, right? What if you want to carve your own path? What if you're going to follow your soul rather than following, well, that person says go that way, that person says go that way. Anywhere we're putting our power outside of ourselves, we are doing ourselves and humanity a great disservice. And I really see individuals are claiming back our power now, and we're operating from love. And finding your center, coming back into neutrality, letting go of judgment will bring so much more clarity. At least for a time, you will know how to proceed in the correct way if you give yourself some time and space to just allow those polarities to fold in. Come from that central pillar. Reconnect with your soul, reconnect with your beauty, your pole star, your due north. What is the best course of action for me here in this moment? And, to follow your heart, to follow your truth, to follow your highest path, to do what you want to do, as long as it brings harm to none. Okay, we don't want to cause harm. And it's not about being selfish. It's about weighing up all of the options and choosing the highest course of action for you. And this is really what I feel we're being asked to do as a humanity now, as a society, as we bust out of all these old paradigms. And Kerubiel is really just reminding us that there is a huge shift happening on this planet, and the reminder is to offer yourself some respite. If you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling out of sorts, keep coming back into your center. If you need to, switch off the TV, come away from harsh environments, create for yourself a peaceful, safe sanctuary around you, set your healthy boundaries, simplify is the word I'm being given here. Simplify your life, simplify everything, and everything will open up for you, everything. And I'm just being given the beautiful symbol of a rainbow, this beautiful rainbow and the pot of gold. And think of the awe that we hold when we see a rainbow after the rain, when we kind of go, oh, wow, and when you see a really bright one and the colors are just unbelievably like neon, that feeling of, oh my God, isn't that beautiful, after so much doom and gloom, that wow, that's the feeling we're to hold on to as the new earth arrives, is to trust that. Pretty soon the clouds will part and you will have glimpses of things that are better than ever. And I always say it, like, instead of seeing the unknown as being all darkness and doom and gloom and something to be feared, see the unknown and the mystery as something that is, amazing and full of miracles, and that is like a rainbow after the rain. Feel the awe of what is happening here on our planet. Don't get caught up in the darkness. Don't get caught up in the fear. Trust that the greatest unfolding is occurring. Honor your emotions, honor your feelings, work through them, yes, but give yourself moments to come into wonder and notice the beauty around you in the everyday. See how many people's hearts are opening. See the courage and the beauty of humanity as we really navigate through these times. Remember that everything is happening for you, not to you, though sometimes it doesn't always feel that way. But give yourself permission to trust yourself. If you trust nothing else, trust yourself, trust your own heart, trust your judgment, trust your inner compass. And on that note, just allowing that inner compass now, really, really centering and calming everything down. And we're just going to ask that to just melt into our heart so that it is just integrated with you, so that it really activates your inner magic of discernment, your intuition. Your guidance system is yours. It's like you are the ship's captain of your soul. Allow that to melt into you. And keep an eye out in your daily waking life for pictures of the compass, symbols of the compass. Some of you may see it in your daily waking life and reality. I would love to hear if you do. Probably within the next few days to 2 weeks, you'll see it somewhere in your reality. And really know that that is a symbol for you really coming into alignment with your guidance system. Also keep your eye out, as usual, for the 1111. That's also the alignment, and there's a lot of that going on at the moment. So when you're ready, taking a deep breath in, Kerubiel is also giving us a beautiful golden cloak to represent our sovereignty. Take a deep breath, receive this cloak like a gown of protection. You're also receiving a golden crown on your head. And this is also from Kerubiel. And the cherubim are beautiful beings. They're sometimes represented as the little baby angels, but actually a true cherubim is quite fierce, and they have 4 heads. They've got a lion, a bull, a human, and an eagle head. So they can see in all directions, and they have multiple gifts, okay? So they can be fierce protectors when they need to be. And all of those symbols of power coming through them. So this is about engaging with your own power. This is not power over, it is power to, and it is the divine definition of power. So really feel this in your power center, and imagine now that you have a blazing ball of sun in your power center, reclaim your power. And as we activate this inner sun, we're going to call back all our power from anyone that's ever taken it from us. And you might see this like little bolts of lightning coming back into your stomach, little threads of gold weaving back in to your belly, calling in your power, calling in your might, calling in your will, and really centering. Again, you might see little cracks in the solar plexus, healing up, sealing up. We're going to take that power and we're going to amplify it out from the solar plexus, this top area of the stomach, right out into the energy field, radiating it out into your auric field. We're going to make it so big that it surrounds our whole self like a sphere of protection. We're going to seal it in gold, and we're going to seal it in indigo, and that seals our space. And it basically says, this is my healthy boundary, this is my space. I claim my power, I align to my truth, and I do not give anyone else permission to take my power ever again. And you can do that daily if you need to at this time. Really plant your feet where you are on the earth. You might want to send some of those rays of golden sun into the earth, up into the divine. Send these rays out into the hearts and minds of everyone you encounter, everyone you know, giving the whole universe this signal of, this is my space, I claim it. I claim it for the good of the all. And really feel yourself, anywhere you've been feeling overwhelmed, just let that go. Really feel yourself coming into a beautiful rested state. Take a deep breath and breathe away anything you need to let go of. Know that you are being fully protected and held in this energy. And when you open your eyes, you're going to anchor all of these gifts into your daily waking 3D life. So opening your eyes and coming all the way back. And I just wish you a really beautiful evening. I know we're navigating really tricky times. Our minds are doing flip-flops trying to figure out what is going on right now. Let your mind have a rest. Let your body and your soul have a rest. You know, if there's something that you can't fix and that you don't have the answers for, hand it over to your soul, surrender it all, and trust is the way forward. Like, I trust. I have no idea how this is going to work out, but I absolutely trust that it will, and the answers will always come at exactly the right moment. So I'm sending you all so much love as you navigate through this eclipse corridor. Just trust that we're walking to a higher timeline, flying to a higher timeline, and it's all playing out. Put your focus on exactly where you want to be, and that starts with your feelings. So get excited, okay? Get excited about what the future holds, and it will help to magnetize to you the best possible opportunities for you. So I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you soon. Thank you for watching.